Love this podcast? Support this show through the Acast supporter feature. It's up to you how much you give, and there's no regular commitment. Just hit the link in the show description to support now.
Welcome to the Apollo Audio Podcast.
Hello.
I am Martin Lumsden, producer and engineer, and
I am Billy Hills.
that's all. And that's all.
Always.
And that's enough.
What more do you want?
Welcome to the show at Apollo Audio and the Apollo Audio Podcast. I think I've already said podcast. I think I've already said that. How are you, Billy?
Oh, good. It's been a fun week of music. We had a preamble before this for about an hour talking about it. We said we should record.
Yeah, none of it. We should just have been running, taping, yeah.
I was chatting about you've been to a recording studio elsewhere. I've been to Bath. Went off your recommendation, went record store shopping, and I had one
Resolution Records.
Resolution Records. What a cool place that was. Really cool. Because I went round, got there last Saturday, and just wandered around the shops, and there was a HMV there and all charity shops that had vinyls. And I was looking, like sort of skimming, but then I've got a goal in mind. I want to find this one vinyl. So it sort of gave me like an aim, because I was like, I might look around and find ones I want. Like I saw I should have bought it actually. It was a Manfred Mann vinyl. So we had Manfred Mann in the other week, and had all their faces on. I was like, wow,
that's
they've
them.
been to the studio.
I know him.
But then HMV just had like more current ones. But where that actually Resolution Records is sort of like an open market as well, and there's a few vinyl stands. And I went in there. I really wanted the First Sundays album. That was my
cool.
That was my go-to. I want to find this because I know it's a bit niche. And everyone I chatted to was like, "Oh no, that'd be quite a rare find." Because I didn't really think about it at the time. I thought, "Oh, 90's still vinyl," but not really. It's the age of CD then, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you think,
and I think they were on an indie label as well.
And vinyl's old now. Whereas vinyl's old now, but in a good way. It's cool to have vinyl, but CDs were the thing, so he said it'd be very rare to find it. So I couldn't find it, unfortunately. I did find a Phoebe Bridgers album. I got the second one that I think we reviewed. I love that. That's the perfect sort of vinyl album for me.
Punisher?
Punisher.
That one, yeah.
Haven't actually unwrapped it yet, so to do that. And then I just bought the Sundays one on Amazon. So couldn't find it.
Oh, right. So on vinyl?
I think it's like a repress, because I've seen some. I got it for like 50 quid, but then I've seen some on eBay. It might be like an original press of like 150 quid. So I hope it's official, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if it's an original press one, but I
mean, I don't know, but maybe it is a repress, but still, that's the way of the world, and the fact that they are repressing something like Sundays is kind of positive anyway, because that means there's demand for it. There's plenty of albums that just don't exist on vinyl.
Yeah.
Just don't.
Yeah. But I was surprised about how like everyone I asked.
The XX. I've been trying to get the XX first album on vinyl. It doesn't exist on vinyl. Or they did have it on vinyl, but I think it's kind of limited run, sold out, and I've got a feeling it might be that it's been deleted, because I think they're coming up to some sort of anniversary. I think they're probably going to repress it as a special edition, but
but really cool music city town. There's all live music everywhere, and again like in all the shops. And what the weirdest thing went to Resolution Records, and out the front they had all these flyers for like local bands and acts. And my mate Ollie is in Feet. We've got plenty of Feet memorabilia in the studio.
Yeah.
I saw a leaflet for that night. I was like, I looked at the photo and I was like, it's an old photo. Yeah. Because like they played Bristol yesterday, and I know they're not playing Bath on their tour. Because I thought, oh, maybe I can combine it with Bristol. Yeah. I called up just in case. I said, I've got a flyer. I don't know if it's from 2025, but are you playing in Bath tonight? He said, yeah, it's a secret charity show. Why? I was like, no, I'm in Bath. Look, it's in it's like $5. It was a charity gig, cool venue. It's called Village Yard or whatever. Yeah. And so my mate from down the road playing Bath. It was amazing, really cool. I was going to see him in Birmingham, but no, I just saw him there. So that was really cool. So that's why I'm so glad I went to the record shop as well. Yeah. Because if I didn't go there, I would have no idea. I would have seen it the next day.
Another reason why little independent record shops are great, because that's where you find that sort of...
And they're so knowledgeable.
Sort of thing.
I thought, I know Sundays were big back then, but there's like people behind the desk that don't really... Sorry. They're younger than me, so I thought like they might not know. And they're so knowledgeable of their stuff, and like, 90s indie, let me have a look. They knew straight away. So it was the same. I went to a bookshop. I'm really loving reading at the moment, and there's all these like people so knowledgeable about their craft. Yes, please. This is Loz. Loz, you just interrupted the podcast.
Sorry. Be a perfect guest for this one, Loz.
What was I say? Yeah, it's a really cool place. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And where did you go then?
I was sort of down in the same direction. I went to Winchester.
Yeah.
And, well, not in Winchester, but near Winchester. It's a new studio build, which is rare in itself, I think. They literally started building it 3 years ago. And I think it's just recently been finished. They'll have done very little recording in there yet. But this is a huge place. I think it was a...
What was it before?
I think it was a car showroom.
Oh, cool.
And it still doubles as a car showroom. The guy that's bought it, he is the owner of Van Damme Cables, who they're the cable company that everybody uses, right? So not like just XLR cables or whatever like that, but multi core installations across the BBC or huge. Like it's all done supplied by Van Damme Cables. He's clearly got a lot of money. He collects cars. He collects guitars. And he's bought this building and reconverted it, so retained it as a car showroom, so it's got all sort of classic car stuff in there. He's made a event space in it, so a restaurant and event space where they do performances. And then they basically dug out underneath the building at the back, because apparently they weren't allowed to build up, so instead they've built down. So they've dug down into the ground, about 30 metres, I think they said.
Yeah.
Can't be 30 metres, 30 feet. 30 metres? It could be 30 metres, I don't know. They've dug down, but so they've excavated, load of earth to get out of there so they can build this studio.
No way.
But God knows how much money they spent in it.
Yeah.
Every floor is floating.
Wow.
So none of the floors are connected. So they've got a main room floor, they've got a control room floor, they've got an outside room floor, they've got two they call them isolation booths. They're not isolation booths, they're isolation rooms.
Yeah.
Those are all separate and isolating. So you get zero transfer between any room.
Oh my God.
So if you're vibrating in one room, you won't feel it in the next room because they're all completely disconnected. Even that is that's a shitload of money.
Yeah.
But then you've got to cable the whole thing.
Yeah.
Then you've got to install and they've got a 48 channel SSL Fusion desk, which has got to be, I don't know, $250,000 maybe.
Really? Was that menu
maybe
you
more?
sent me, was that from that studio?
Yeah. And that's
I
just
thought it was like a Chinese takeaway menu at first.
Yeah, no.
So I had to
that's just their gear list.
That's
it's ridiculous.
Insane, yeah.
They've got a mic list, extensive mic list, and even when I was there, a lot of the microphones they were using weren't the ones that are on that list because it was sponsored by Sonox microphones.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, really fascinating. The idea was, or the invitation was, it was to see these high-end studio, very experienced engineers and producers tracking a band live in the studio. And I thought that would be interesting because, I can do that. And we do it here. And we were talking about a band, Bag of Bones, that recorded a while ago, but just finished their recording, which was all recorded live on the day. We did some stuff doing, and it sounds great, right? Yeah. So you can do these things, you can make them sound great.
They are a proper band, though, aren't they?
They are.
They are so good.
The biggest part of this is you're a good band, right? Can you do it live?
Yeah.
Makes a big difference.
You did really capture it.
Really cool. But yeah, they have to play it in the first place. But same principle at this place. They had a top class band, top class musicians playing. And the idea was, I thought, I might get some tips about how to do this. In reality, it was more about showing off the studio than it was about showing off the techniques, to be honest. But you pick up a few tips, and it meant I got to see all the gear.
Collaborating, like you said, and you meet other people.
It was a big networking event. All that kind of stuff, and there was. There is now a microphone that I'm like, ooh, I really fancy one of those, which I hadn't really seen before. I just hadn't seen a microphone like that before. It's quite interesting. I thought, is that a thing? But yeah, just some other tips about how they just mic things. The funniest thing was, and sorry to say this, Stuart, if you ever listen to this, then you'll appreciate that, that was a stupid thing to do. And this guy is a very, very experienced engineer. Been doing this for years. He's worked on top-class records. Yeah. They've spent ages telling us about how they've isolated all the instruments. So the drums are in the room. We're sitting in the room. Said, you'll only hear the drums because we've isolated everything. We've put... everything's run through to these isolation booths with these floating floors. We've got...
They've got the glass cover things around the drums. Have they got them things?
No, they didn't, because they were in the main room. They didn't need to do that because everything else was out. So they didn't need to isolate the drums because everything else was isolated from the drums.
Got ya.
So the guitar cabs were all in separate rooms.
Yeah.
They had a Hammond organ in a separate room. So everything was completely separate. The vocalist was in the control room.
Yeah.
He was playing guitar and singing through the control room. So it's like we've created this perfectly isolated scenario so that we get perfect tracking and all these. So the band are all in the same room.
Yeah.
They're all seeing each other, right?
Yeah.
They're all playing together, apart from the vocalist.
So what, is he playing the guitar, but his amp's not actually in the room?
Correct.
So they got headphones on?
Correct.
Got ya.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
cool.
But they can all see each other. They can all see the control room and all that. So this is like how I would do it as well, same thing. But try and isolate the instruments as much as possible so you don't get the spill, so then you can do a better mix later. If you want to do it. He spent ages talking about all of this and how brilliant this isolation is.
Yeah.
Then they went and got the band to play, started playing. They left the monitor speakers on in the room. So we heard everything. As did all the drum mics.
Oh no! Did you not realise?
No, until I think they did realise after about 2 minutes into the song, which was 4.5 minutes long.
Yeah.
They're not going to abandon it.
No,
it's like they've got too many things to do that day.
Yeah.
But he's come back and said, we left the monitor speakers on. And we go like, kind of rookie mistake.
Yeah.
And especially when you just spent saying how brilliant all the isolation is and then just play all the instruments back into the room anyway. Missed opportunity there. But it was just fun.
Yeah.
It just proves that it doesn't matter how experienced you are,
Yeah.
you can still go, oops.
And we was talking about...
And here's a crucial thing actually about that. It did not spoil the take.
Yeah.
At all. I mean, it's like, okay, we haven't got as much manipulation as we might like. When you come back to, if you were going to come back and mix it later and you really wanted to do special treatment on the drums and all that, Ben, you're going, there's a lot of spill coming from the other instruments into the drums. But if you're doing a live take anyway, you might not need to do that. Who cares if there's spill? Everyone's playing at the same time all together anyway. So that's kind of a crucial thing as well, is to go like, it wasn't perfect. Doesn't mean it's ruined.
Yeah.
At all.
And
it's still recorded really well.
In our preamble chat, we was talking about mastering, because Martin's done a master for my band Body's new track, and I was saying don't need like a proper mastering suite, a room, because I've said it to other people before, it's like there's mastering studios, but you're saying how you've got these headphones that can manipulate, like
I use modelling. They're by Slate Digital. They're called VSX, and they use modelling software to mimic rooms. So I can change the rooms and the monitor speakers that I'm listening to in the rooms, and it creates this sort of, I don't understand the technology, but rather than when you've got these headphones on, like typically you might expect, especially with the headphones, you'll hear a sort of left and right signal, but the way that these work is you hear, or the way that you experience it is the same way as you would experience monitors in a room. So you get the sort of crosstalk, the phantom middle and all that kind of stuff. In a completely different experience, and you can flip speakers to hear different environments, different stuff. So I use it a lot for referencing. We used to talk about doing the room test or the car test.
Always the car
it's like
test,
take it out to the car. So I can kind of mimic a car without going to the car. But probably more crucially, I can switch from full-scale monitors to earbuds without changing my speaker. So I just get the experience of, does this still sound good? Regardless, but one of them is a mastering suite. So when I am mastering, I'll flip to a different monitoring experience. So it's not the same as how I normally experience it. So that I experience listening to it differently, because mastering is a different process. So
the reason I transition to that is because, like, some studios might have the most expensive gear in the world, but if you don't know how to use it, there's no point having it, is it?
True of anything, right?
Yeah, exactly. All gear, no idea. But
we were laughing a little bit about that in the studio. Actually, one of the guys I was talking to was saying all this sort of nonsense about they've got what's it called? A compressor that has come from Sun Studios in America.
Wow.
So that compressor has been used to record Elvis Presley, Johnny Cash, all these greats from Sun Studios in America, and that's where it came from. Does that mean that you're going to sound like Johnny Cash when you use that? Of course it doesn't. It's like, oh no, it's good. Does it actually, it works really well. Does it make you sound any good if you're not any good? Of course it doesn't. You've still got to be good. it can make you sound better and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But it's like the
got
guy that I was talking to was like laughing because he said, "Yeah, I've got."
Makes you sound like Johnny Cash.
I've got an amp that apparently Jimi Hendrix once pissed on. Like, I'll buy that. It's the Jimi Hendrix piss amp.
But I've been guilty of that. You know, we went to that Joplin house down in for all the new metal bands, and you think if it's got a bit of history in it, you think it's got a bit of like lore in it. It's like you can maybe capture that magic. So I've been guilty of that, and it's just quite. I think it's a USP for the studio.
But there is something in it. I mean, I'm going to say it's not true that it's going to make you sound any different by itself.
Yeah.
What I think does help when you, and this is just an argument for being in the studio. This is just as true as coming here as it is anywhere else. To be fair, that's my view. Yeah. Is the biggest difference you're getting is the difference of experience.
Yeah.
It's like what's going to create the vibe. You can capture something when you just by being in that studio and feeling that sense of this is where these things happened. Yeah. Your experience as a band and as a gang and the whole point of doing it, your mindset changes.
Yeah.
And that's different from. That's why I say get in a studio. Don't do it at home. Get in a studio. Work with collaborators. Work with other people. Go different places. Experience different things because you create a vibe around that music that's not just technically based. It's not just I've punched it in and I can record it and it's a clean signal and all that bit. Big fucking whoop. Because no one is going to get emotionally attached. And this is the point. No one gets emotionally attached to a well-recorded signal. Yeah. They get emotionally attached to a well-produced song, a well-performed song, a well-written song. All the stuff that you're going like. It doesn't matter how good this microphone is if I can't get any emotion through it.
Yeah. Well, what made me think of that is it's either Marilyn Manson or 9 Inch Nails, some weird band. Yeah. I think they rented out the Manson house to record their album.
We never talked about this. Is like so annoying. That was the album that we did last week, and I thought, oh my god, we never mentioned any of that.
So, and that's vibe. Like that house wasn't the studio, but they've gone for the vibe. Yeah, and you can tell, can't you? So, Metallica have done that. I've seen they've taken over. I'm sure Red Hot Chili Peppers have done it. If you want to go through. If you've got the gear and the gear can be transported, like you might not have the most amazing like Sound City sounding like drum rooms and that. Yeah. But you make do, don't you? And you can have a better vibe doing it. You can have a better album. So
but sometimes it's about the story. Sometimes that you can tell. It's like we went to the studio, we created this studio, we created this vibe. Like that's what people will emotionally connect to as well. Is the story around this as much as anything else. And I think that's why it's important. You go into a studio, like retain some of that, capture some of it, take a photograph of it, get some behind the scenes stuff. Yeah. Partly for your own records to kind of go, oh yeah, remember when we did that? Yeah. But just as importantly these days, if you've got a fan base, show them it happening because then they will find some emotional attachment to seeing you do stuff.
Well, I got chills when we went to Joplin, and like seeing the amount of history there. There was like a bass player from The Cure left his bass there, and like touching history. Butch Vig has signed the desk. Like September by Earth, Wind and Fire was recording on it, and you could just feel the history. It's like a museum. Yeah. And it was like I got chills being the hair standing on the back of my neck, and it did like not a precious play, but like an almost like I want to be part of them. If it's good enough for them, then it's definitely good enough for me, and they've sort of earned their. So definitely, like you said, you're the performer. You've got to make it sound good.
Yeah, it's not going to make you sound good. But it is going to give you the connection with like history, with music history, with that feeling of, we're doing something special here today.
And it maybe gives you 10% more in your performance, doesn't it? It makes you like, give you that bit of edge.
Yeah, exactly.
Very cool.
I think that's what's key.
Yeah.
I agree.
Should we just lie and say we've got a load of equipment here from the Beatles or something?
Well, I mean, that's the other thing. It's like, we've got this thing. Is it?
I pissed on that amp over there.
Is it though? So that's the one that so and so used. Is it though?
Yeah.
We could say that. Yeah. Paul Jones used that microphone.
Yeah.
Did he? Well, he used one of them.
Hope he didn't piss on it.
He probably brought his own. But there's all sort of like we were talking before about. I was thinking about buying some microphones, and the reason I was looking at the microphones I was looking at is not because they're special necessarily by themselves, but it's like every studio has one of these. Like all the top end studios will use one of these microphones. So I've got microphones that are just as good, realistically, but are they just as good?
Yeah.
Even though comparatively and for the type of music you're doing, all that kind of stuff, you say, well, I wouldn't use that anyway. But there's that kind of but everyone's got one of them in their locker.
Yeah.
So do you want it?
I feel the same way about like guitar pedals.
Yeah.
Like there's like the go-to, you must have these ones.
Yeah.
I've got other ones that probably do just the same job, but I don't know, it just sort of like, oh, I must have that because it's the name, isn't it?
Yeah. It's like, it's like with anything else. I suppose your trainers, your clothes, your whatever is like, I can get a pair of trainers that are just a pair of trainers, or I can get a pair of trainers that are Vans or Adidas or Nike or whatever, and it's like, now they're like, I feel like I've got the trainers.
I was talking to I've talked to a couple of guitarists about this. Don, who's in a couple bands here, and Danny from Rocket Fuel is coming in later to record. Yeah. There's this pedal called the Klon, which is just, I don't know if I've heard of it. It's this overdrive pedal that it's just gone. I think it's been around since the 80s or 90s, but it's just kept going up and up in price. Yeah. And apparently it's the most amazing pedal in the world, for overdrive. And it's now, I think it was used to be like £70 back in the day. Now it's like hundreds, if not thousands, because they're rare. Yeah. And the owner got so annoyed by this that he released the patent on Google web, so anyone can make it if they want to. It's just it doesn't. He was saying it doesn't deserve the hype. Yeah. Whatever it was. And then around that time there was this pedal called a Digitech Green Monkey pedal, which was probably the equivalent of a bearing, a cheap one at the time, worth £30, and it got compared to the Klon because it had similar programming in, and that went up to the £200 and £300 as well, because it just got that hype. And people and it was the same as Josh Homme had a little Vox amp that we've had here before. So I'll use that on Songs of the Deaf or whatever. As a cheap £80 amp, it nearly went into the thousands. Just because someone else says use your own ear. You don't have to but we all do, don't we? Yeah, and and some of that is said. It's that feeling that you get from it. Yeah. There's all sorts of versions of that. I see that pedal down there, and it just makes me feel more like I'm going to play better. Yeah. Do you play better? No, I kind of get it, but also reverse out of that and go, is it actually making you play any better? And I'm like that. I'm down at the front of gigs, seeing their pedal board and stuff like that. And when I'm recording my band next month, I was saying, because we're massive Limp Bizkit new metal fans or whatever. And my favourite guitarist uses a diesel pedal, a diesel amp head. I was like, you got to use that. They got it at the studio. I was like, and then I was sort of been listening to what you said as well. We've said last few weeks, you said the point about you want to get close to that sound without being 100% that sound. Yeah. So I really thought about that. I was like, I don't want to be 100% like Wes Borland from Limp Bizkit. I like the sound of my Friedman pedal that I've got. Yeah. I've got a couple pedals of his, but I don't want to be. Otherwise, I'm not being me, am I? Yeah. So I'm going to take elements from him, but then also you've got to put your own stamp on it as well. So. Yeah. It is a bit too easy just to clone stuff. We said that was the point. Aiming for that sound that you want and missing, but missing good. Yeah. It's good, right? Because then you've developed your own style and your own sound, and you go I want that. I want Billy's sound. Yeah. There'll be it's a bit like that other thing, but it's not. It's he's taken that, he's done something different with it, and it's I want that sound. Yeah. And that's where you want to be. Yeah. I think it's great. Feels like maybe a good point to talk about a band that have been massively influential. I want that sound. That's been pretty common when it comes to this band. Let's talk about this week's album. This is the 100th album we'll have talked about on this, I think, if I got my maths right. Yes. Anyone else can go back and investigate this if you can really be bothered. But I'm pretty sure I added them up correctly, but who cares? And in any event, we thought, well, it's the 100th album. Shall we do the number 100 on the Rolling Stone list? And we looked at number 100 and went, no. What was it again? I can't remember. That's how good it was. Let's not do that. And then we've been talking about Led Zeppelin for a while, haven't we? Yeah. So we've gone for number 101. Yes. On the Rolling Stone list, just to be obtuse, which is the debut album by Led Zeppelin. Okay, cool. Led Zeppelin. Yeah. I think it's. I struggled to find. It must be posthumously called. Posthumously, that's maybe the wrong use of that word. It's called Led Zeppelin 1, but it presumably wasn't called Led Zeppelin 1 when it came out. No, because this is what I was... when you first sent it, because they've got... I think I started listening to Led Zeppelin 2 first of all. Yeah. Because when you sent it, it looked like a similar album cover. Yeah. And they're all called they didn't really have names, did they? They're sort of And I clicked on the one, that's the white one. I was like, I better go double check it. So I listened to half of Zeppelin 2. So I listened to 1.5 albums this week. Nice. But another thing about... Let's hope we have listened to the same one. Yeah. Well, a bit confused by this album, first of all. When I did get the right album finally, the one with the blimp on it, yeah?
Yeah, the one with the Zeppelin on it.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. I listened to it, I was like, have I listened to it on shuffle? First, because I was like, oh, great opening track, really cool. Yeah. And then number 2, it goes into that slow, like, acoustic-y one.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I must have it on shuffle.
Is this actually Led Zeppelin?
Is this, yeah, have I actually got the right one? And then another thing and then some of the songs sort of ended, like, abruptly. And I don't know if I'm just so used to, like, Spotify nicely transitioning into them, but they didn't seem to quite master the fade out in the early 1970s where it sort of just seemed to end.
They do. There's definitely songs that... It's an unusual thing to do these days, is that there are tracks that fade out.
Yeah.
And I think when you're listening on streaming, particularly, sometimes you get that sort of glitch at the end of a track that shouldn't really be there.
Yeah.
I've got a feeling that some of these were intended to blend into each other.
Yeah. It sounds like a hard cut.
And I think that's not really what maybe happened, but that might be a glitch in the streaming, because there's always that kind of, all right, I'm transferring from one song to the next, and it doesn't transfer as fast as it should. But then I don't remember the actual ends of songs, and sometimes they did just go gone.
Again, I didn't know if it was shuffle or it was supposed to go into it, but I definitely listened to the order, and it sounded like it should have gone on for another 30 seconds.
Yeah.
But then it sort of ended abruptly.
Yeah.
So my first gut instinct was like, oh, this is cool. First track sort of hits you in the face, and the first thing I noticed was the drums.
Yeah.
And how groovy that man is. Because I've heard best mate Jack that works here is such a big fan of John Bonham.
Yeah.
I've heard it. I know he's good. I've heard like he always plays his famous shuffle that he does.
Yeah.
And just that kick drum sound, and like he's using the rims and stuff like that. I was like, that's the thing that grabbed me.
Yeah.
It was really, really cool. So I think it was a great first impression, that one. And then going into 2, I was like, I'll go back and listen to it now. I think it's really, really cool. But it's like to put like a soft song, like we were saying the other week, like we're gonna bring it down now. You usually do that like 4 or 5 tracks in, 6 tracks in. They do it on track 2, which crescendos and it becomes big.
Yeah.
But I think you usually do you either do a soft one first and you bring it up, but to put it from a heavy one straight into a soft one, it was one of my favourite tracks on there, but I just wasn't, my ear wasn't attuned to that, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, and then it got on, and I can't remember track names off the top of my head.
No.
And it was sort of what I expected it to be, and then it got a bit more bluesy.
Yeah.
And that's where I sort of turn off.
Oh, really? Okay.
Because I was chatting with Nikki, who I teach here, is a massive blues fan.
Yeah.
And it's not like I'm not a fan of the blues, but I struggle with anything that, and again, it's not to my ear, I know I'm probably wrong and offending a load of people saying this, but anything that's got a structure you have to stick to. It's like the 12-bar blues, it must be dun 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 dun, and then it must be the next note, and then come back round again. I get why I like it, because it allows the guitar to be like free, and you can just solo around it, and it's a great way to do it. But it's done. You know what's coming. That's why I love metal music, because there's no structure to it. You can have a verse, chorus, and a riff, and then that might be the end of the song. There's no rules. But when I find like the blues sort of stuff, and especially this early era of recorded music, there's a kind of a structure that you sort of had to stick to.
Yeah.
And I think they don't use it in loads of songs, but in the blues ones especially, like you kind of feel where you know where it's going.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's what
Yeah.
I don't say I don't like it, but it's...
No, I do understand, and I think it's really valid that you just mentioned, this is going back nearly 60 years, and you're only really less than 20 years into recorded rock music, and certainly like amplification and stuff like that, that's... I mean, you think about, this is 1969, so you're only like 5 years from the first Beatles album, which is also Mop Tops and all that bit, and get to the same year as 69, same year as Abbey Road comes out, isn't it? I think the Beatles, which has got that. Not to refer everything to the Beatles, but that was, I think we spoke about how it's differently produced and the type of recording technology they were using. And just the concept of an album as being not just a collection of songs, but an actual thing by itself. This is all still pretty early. And the idea of that sort of, I'm playing a particular type of music, I'm playing blues, I'm playing blues rock. This is still really early. There's not that many people that are doing it. This is the sort of, the British guitar gods, the Peter Greens, the Jimmy Pages, and Eric Clapton.
Well,
It's their era, right?
Yeah. Was they in the Yardbirds together, Clapton and?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. And the Jeff Beck band, I think. And Jimmy Page had been. He played on loads of. He's played session musician prior to this as well. He's on loads of songs where you wouldn't know he was on them, but it's him playing the guitar because he just played session stuff. But it's a really good point that you make, that this is like so early in recorded music. Really,
I almost feel bad now to come back for it, because I've come from an era of 2026 where there's been musical revolutions. Like every 10 years since then, you had punk, then you had new wave, and there's this. I'm coming from the knowledge that I've just brought up with that.
Yeah.
But I can imagine this at the time was groundbreaking.
Yeah.
But coming 6 years later, you just brought up with Led Zeppelin, so that's what they sound like. But I can't
how fast things can change.
There.
I think it was groundbreaking, and then, like you said, within sort of 10 years, you've got less than 10 years, you've got a reaction to that.
Yeah.
Not punk was not necessarily a reaction directly to Led Zeppelin. In fact, barely at all. I think it was probably one of the bands that probably wasn't a reaction to. But that sort of overblown prog rock big things. It's like the speed at which that occurred.
Yeah.
If you like, to the point where other people were going, all it takes is 3 chords and we can play a song. That's fine.
Yeah.
And that was a reaction to all that sort of very technical proficiency. And that didn't take very long to happen either, for that to be a sort of reaction against that.
Yeah.
I had a massive existential crisis listening to this album. Because I've discovered I like Led Zeppelin.
Oh, really?
And I've got to this age thinking, nah, I'm not into that. I'm not into that stuff.
Did you try before? Had you heard
sort
any albums?
of. I mean, I know some of the songs and all that kind of stuff, but I was like, that's not for me. I'm not into that kind of vibe. I'm not. It might be partly because I have been working on this Bag of Bones album, which is in the sort of same genre, so my ear might have been attuned to it.
Yeah.
But I did sort of listen to this going, I'm probably going to think this is quite good, but not for me.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
Oh, brilliant.
I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I actually like that, because I said my entire life I would have said, Led Zeppelin, it's not my scene.
Yeah.
And now I'm thinking, it's really good.
Yeah.
I went and listened to 2 other albums after this.
Did you?
Yeah. I went and listened to Led Zeppelin 2 and Led Zeppelin 4.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I know of 4. So for me, I knew a lot more of. I don't think they've got any of their biggest singles of this album.
No, it's really, really early. I mean, it is their first album. And interestingly enough, talking about that, obviously, famously, they didn't do singles.
Yeah.
This is an era of saying we're not going to release singles. It's all about albums and buy the album. So they didn't release singles. Even some of what are supposedly their biggest hits, like I think there were some, like Whole Lot of Love, I think was a single, for example, which is one of their sort of famous tracks. But something like Stairway to Heaven, famously never a single until I think it was released as a single, but like 30 years later.
Really?
Yeah, as a kind of, everybody wants this, but at the time it was never a single.
That's amazing. So I was excited going into it because of like, they're all amazing musicians in their own right. But as a guitarist, especially like Jimmy Page and stuff like the Immigrant song and like the riff like that. And I was expecting a bit more.
Not on this album, obviously.
No. But that's what I sort of going into, and I love. Was it Kashmir?
Yes.
And the sort of like. The tuning, it was a Dadgad tuning then, which is like an open sort of tuning. It was like that might have been revolutionary at the time. Like it's all about weird tunings nowadays, but back then I don't really know. So I went into listen to that, and again, it's probably got a bit more blues and a bit more sort of a bit long towards the end, whereas a bit more self-indulgent guitar sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And again, as a guitarist, I've never been about solos.
Yeah.
I've been about like. Catchy, and if they are solos, it's more like the Noel Gallagher sort of time, catchy motifs that you can sing along to. Yeah. I'm not impressed by fret wanking. I am very impressed. It's probably just jealousy because I can't do it. But that's when I sort of lost interest. So I really enjoyed the first sort of half of the album, and then I got a bit. And again, vocally for me, it's so impressive. It's so good, but there's only, and I like shouty music, so I'm probably such a hypocrite. But when it reaches that, like, the upper echelons of his range, it's just not for me. I'm not saying it's not good. I think it's really, really impressive, and he's got an amazing voice. But I've never really liked that sort of style of, like, again, like, from AC/DC, that high-pitched style of... Yeah. It's just not for me.
And AC/DC, presumably very, very much taking a lead from Led Zeppelin, I'm sure, and that Robert Plant style of vocal is very much that, I'm sure. Maybe they deny it, but I'm sure. It's funny because everything that you're saying about what you didn't really tune into about it is everything I would have said for the last 30 years about why I wouldn't like Led Zeppelin as well. Yeah. And for whatever reason, as I put this on this time, I went, oh shit, I like this.
I had that exact same thing with...
I'm not that person.
That was Black Sabbath for me, because I thought anyone from the sort of 70s sort of guitar thing, I was like, I'm not really sure about. But I had the exact same thing when we listened to War Pigs by Black Sabbath. It's like, oh my God. That makes more sense though, because I'm a metalhead. Yeah. And this is more ingrained in the blues stuff.
Blues rock stuff, Although, apparently, Communication Breakdowns, track 7 on this, is widely regarded as the first heavy metal song.
Really?
Yeah.
Fair play.
And you can hear it in the riff.
Yeah.
Kind of go, oh yeah, get it, because I've heard that replicated since.
Yeah.
But
what was Black Sabbath's first album? Was that 70?
It was called, their first album was called Black Sabbath.
Was that 1970 though?
Yeah, I think so. 70 or 71?
Yeah.
I think so. Not long after.
So that predates them? Yeah.
Because this is 69, this album. And this is the crazy stuff. I think I'm right in saying, maybe I'll just double check this. This came out at the beginning of 1969, January 69, I think it was. Yeah, January 69 this came out. So that's their very first...
amazing.
That's their very first album, right? So Billy, I don't know if you've looked into this, but their first album came out in January 69. When do you think their fourth album came out?
Are they doing it like the Beatles though? Are they doing 2-3 albums?
Well, that's why I'm asking.
76?
Because it's absolutely mad. November, let's just make sure I get this double right. November 1971.
That's fourth album.
Their fourth album.
What? So they're doing one? What's the math there? Every 6 months.
So it's just about 3 years.
That's insane.
Not quite 3 years, because they've got all of 1960. So from the point at which the first one came out to the point at which the second one came out, you've got all of 69, all of 70, and all of 71. But that's 4 albums have been released in that.
And is that their biggest 4 albums?
That 3-year period. Well, I mean, certainly Led Zeppelin 4, I think, that's the one that that's the one that's the highest listed on the Rolling Stone 500 list. It's the one that's got Stairway to Heaven on it.
Yeah.
But it's also got Black Dog Rock and Roll on it as well.
Yeah.
When the Levee Breaks, which is one of those sort of all-time classic, always referred to stuff. But things like I don't say I'm not really knowing Led Zeppelin enough to be able to say. I'm trying to think when things like Kashmir, for example, came out. I don't know what album that was on. I'm just trying to quickly check.
When did John Bonham die?
That was on. The Song Remains the Same was the opening track on Houses of the Holy. See, I don't know where these songs come. But yeah, sorry, what did you say?
When did John Bonham die?
So John Bonham died in 1980, and at that point, I mean, you're talking about John Bonham being such an important part of their sound. John Bonham died, and they went, that's it then.
Have they not released an album since?
They broke up. They quit. They went, we will not be Led Zeppelin again. They have played as Led Zeppelin since, with John Bonham's son. A special event for the guy that ran Atlantic Records, their record label.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, they said, John's dead. That's it, because without him, it's not Led Zeppelin. So they never did anything after that again. They have, Plant and Page did stuff together after that, and said they did do a show with his son.
Because I think they played Reading as Plant and Page.
I got a feeling did they not play something at Live Aid as well?
Yeah, they must have.
They did not do a thing at Live Aid.
Have they not done that many shows together?
They've never made another record.
I respect that. I think that's good.
Yeah.
I think it's cool.
Yeah.
I think most people should do that.
Yeah.
I like the fact that Oasis go back together. I'm not asked about a new album.
Yeah, I kind of hope they don't.
Yeah.
And they're sort of intimating that they might, and I'm like,
Same with Rage Against the Machine.
Maybe it's better that you don't.
Yeah. And same like my friend, like The Office, 2 series and done.
Yeah.
You don't want to overkill it. I think that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. But yeah, like I said, all those things, Immigrant Song, Kashmir, I don't know where they sit in the catalogue. I don't know what albums they're on. I know nothing about it.
I'm sure if we saw like an hour concert of them, we'd probably know half the songs without even being avid fans.
And I have at some point, I picked up a sort of Zeppelin greatest hits type thing.
Yeah.
And I can listen to that fairly comfortably without being annoyed by it. But even then, so I had it and I put it on a couple of times. Oh yeah, these are quite good. Never thought I'd go back to it. I just thought, all right, Led Zeppelin, they did some good songs. So, as I said, I was just really surprised that I put this album and went, I like this.
Why?
Oh my God. I'm not supposed to. But yeah, I did enjoy it, and it did make me think, I wonder if anything else by them is any good. Like listening to the albums rather than just listening to isolated songs, which, as we all know, quite often isolated songs, you can listen to lots of bands who've released great tracks, but great albums is maybe a different thing. But yeah, definitely can see also why they're so influential. I did listen to this, I could hear everybody else in it.
Well, I think you get a lot of bands, I don't know if it's just Instagram, and again, you never really know if your feed is what everyone else is seeing, but there's bands like, Wolfpack, who are just Led Zeppelin. There's other bands coming out now. The whole 70 thing, I think, is coming around again. People like really getting into the Led Zeppelin stuff, which I think is cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad I listened to it, and I'd be up for another one. Yeah. Maybe 4. I think I probably knew more tracks off that one, but I've no doubt of their influence and how huge they are and what musicians they are. But again, you can't help it if it's not your sound. I kind of knew it wasn't my sound, but you thought it wasn't your sound. And you went into it, surprised. So maybe after a few, I'd enjoy it more. But
I'm sure I've said to you before. There's a guy, David Hepworth, I listen to quite a lot, and he said, "You don't find music; music finds you."
Yeah.
He said, like, you cannot force yourself to like think that it's the right time, right place, all that kind of stuff, and you will find one day that band that you never gave any attention to, suddenly you'll hear something and go, oh shit,
I get it. Yeah.
And that happened a bit with me with this time with Led Zeppelin. It's like, something I never thought I would really get into, and then listen to and went, oh, I get it now.
Yeah.
there's really something there.
Is it because he sounds like a female vocalist?
Thanks, Billy. good call. And you know, there's a reason why cliches are cliches as well. You know, this is like 60 years ago.
Yeah.
Nearly. And so you hear a lot of the stuff that they're doing being replicated by other bands now. But like we said already, when they did it, it was new.
Yeah.
Now it just sounds like a cliche. If you do it now, it's like, I heard it.
Done it.
But when they were doing it, that wasn't true. So you got to sort of respect that as well, I think. But yeah, it was a nice one to do as our 100th. It was a nice surprise for me.
Yeah.
To discover.
That's why the podcast's been so good. There's so many of my favourite albums now that I didn't list. Like, again, a few that I list off the top of my head, like Black Sabbath, The Sundays, Lauryn Hill, so many other ones that are just on constant rotation now that I wouldn't have listened to without this podcast. So I think it's really cool.
It is cool.
It's allowed me to find music I love and sometimes confirm music that I hate.
And as we said right at the start, the premise was sort of like, okay, there's a list here, justify it.
Yeah.
I said, why is this here? Should it be here? Oh, it's fine that it's here. I said, like, find something like Lauryn Hill, which is maybe perhaps surprisingly number 10 on the best albums of all time, and then listen to it and go, no, actually, can't really argue with it. And then other albums that are on the list, you say, I don't really know why this is here. It could easily be replaced by something else. It makes no sense. There's some people that aren't on these lists that surely they should, especially, and this is one of my sort of gripes about it, I suppose, and maybe it would be unfair to do it, but you've got, like, the Beatles have got maybe 6 or 7 albums on this list. Just say, like, you can only have 4. And then, or 3 even, and they say, right, now we've freed up 3 spaces for someone else. Okay, we get it. The Beatles are good. We don't need to put 6 of their albums in there to prove that they're good. Are all of them really in the top?
What one isn't?
500. Well, exactly as well. But that always seems a bit crazy. But yeah, like I said, it's been fun, and that's been 100. So
should we stop there then?
We should stop now. You know, when we started it, we'll say we'll do all 500 on the 500 list, and we've even ruined that by we've gone from 2 a week to 1 a week, and we haven't done albums on the 500 list. So God knows, by the time we've finished it, if we go through everyone on the 500 list eventually, you'll be as old as me. If I'm still going, we'll have done well.
Wow.
But it's good, we'll have another listen to another album. It's fun, I like it. So they have the whole concept of albums, the whole idea of making music, the whole idea of rediscovering stuff, old stuff, but new stuff as well. It's such a vibe. I mean, I am a little bit, it's a shame that we're always looking. So much of what we do now is looking backwards. So much of the playlists, Spotify, all that kind of stuff is driven by nostalgia and the algorithms and all that kind of stuff. So it sometimes feel like, in fact, I noted a little comment that I was maybe going to mention in the podcast today. How did they put it, actually? I want to say exactly. It was something like only 3 of the top streamed tracks last year were actually released last year.
That's mental.
Yeah, just only 3 of Spotify's top 10 biggest streamed songs were released of the year were released in that year, 2025.
Do you know what they were?
No, I don't know. But that means 7 of the top 10 weren't released that year, and I would imagine that some of those were like long before that as well.
Yeah.
So you'll have, it will be people like Billie Eilish, Sabrina Carpenter, all that kind of stuff, who were getting multiple streams into 2025 that were released in 2024, 2023.
Yeah.
So you're not necessarily going back. But it was, the point of that article was making the point that it's becoming harder and harder for new music to get traction.
Yeah.
Because everything's being pushed backwards.
If it weren't for this podcast, like, I wouldn't have listened to bands like, who's that really current band? My mate's from
Geese.
I wouldn't listen to them.
Yeah.
And there obviously are people, but I completely get the argument. There's exceptions to the rule, but I don't listen to nowhere near as much new music as I did when I was 14.
Yeah.
Like, because you're just not on the pulse as much anymore.
Yeah.
And even though we've got a music studio about these bits, you find you like what you like, and you've got, like, my playlist is thousands and thousands of songs long.
Yeah.
Days in length.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like, if I've got that much to listen to in the car, I can listen to it all in a week. Yeah. It's how much can you take, and like, if you're not, and especially it's in the culture of like, if it's not instantly good, you don't really give it time of day anymore.
Well, because there's something else. Something else will be along in a minute, so you don't have to choose.
That's why I think live music's so important. Always see the support act, because then you're sort of forced to sit there and go, wow, these are good.
I just go see live, and if a mate says you should check this band out, check this band out.
Yeah.
So that kind of stuff. So I don't want to be, and it is different. I was, when I first started listening to music, there was about, I'm going to be generous, there was about 30 years worth of proper commercial recorded music available for me to listen to, choose from. And things like the charts and what was current was very, very big at that point. Now you fast forward another 30 years. There's now 60 years worth or more, probably like 90 years worth of recorded music or whatever it is available to listen to now. And it's growing exponentially as well. So the number that's released each year is going up and up and up and up and up.
Bedroom DJ now, aren't they?
Yeah. So you've got so much music to listen to, including the new stuff, which is loads and loads and loads. As I said, it's like, okay, and it's hard for bands now, because I do know it's like, look, no one's going to miss your music, because it's not like there isn't anything else to listen to. That's hard, because no one's hanging, unless they love you. And this way you have to kind of create this relationship with your audience, because if I don't release a song, it's like, well, that's okay. I've got plenty of other songs I can listen to. It's not like they don't exist. So you are fighting against that massive influx of stuff. But fact of the matter is, there are people like you and me who love music. And I am fortunate, like saying, not listening to much new music. With the job that I do, I get to not just listen to new music, but actually make the new music
be involved
and work with the bands who are making the new music. And that's a joy as well. So people say, what are you listening to? I'm saying, you will never have heard of them, because I've just recorded their first thing. So that's what I'm listening to. A lot of what I've just recorded, and a lot of my friends who are in bands and artists, so I'm sort of supporting them. So I do get to listen to a lot of new music, but it's not necessarily new music in the way that other people talk about. Who's Sabrina Carpenter, she's new, or Geese, they're new. I'm coming across that stuff, but I'm also talking about, Bag of Bones, they're new, you haven't heard of them before. Autocopy that are coming on Saturday, they're new, you haven't heard them before.
Smashing Pumpkins 2.0, but really good.
But it's like, check them out.
I know this probably sounds very self-indulgent, but what a lot of, especially I'm going on runs, I listen to a lot of music in my car when I'm running. A lot of the stuff I'll listen to is demos of Body, my band. Because I'm so obsessed as when I come with songwriting, like, I might not, Harry usually has the genesis of ideas, but I think I'm very good at producing, and like, I think transitions into verses and chorus they're what make a song stand out from the rest. So I'll listen to the R song over and over again
Yeah.
for like half an hour each time, and I'll analyse bits like a melody there, a harmony there. If you want to sort of make it and be good, I think you've got to become obsessed with your own sort of stuff and like
put the work
and you'll
in.
probably do that with mixes. You probably get sick of your own song by the end of it, but then you know it's done. That you can't be better in any other way because you've listened to it so much, you've reached that next level. So the music I'm listening to at the moment is mine because I want to make it the best.
Yeah.
And then I won't listen to it when it's out because I've listened to it so much.
Yeah.
But then I know I've done my job.
But you put the work in.
Yeah.
And you go, it's done now. And I also get that, it's done now, you want to move on to the next thing. I get that. And that in itself, I mean, there's so much we could talk about. That in itself is hard for artists because at the point at which you need to be promoting your music, you're kind of done with it. You want to do the next thing. And, without this will turn into a 3-hour podcast. But I remember actually saying that. John Fratelli from the Fratellis, I had the opportunity to interview him once a few years ago. And they were doing, if you remember, the Wilkstock Festival.
Yeah.
They were headlining that.
Cool.
And I headlined him after that. And they had a new album out. Because they barely played anything from that new album at this festival. And I said to him, is it not hard? But you know that everyone wants to hear the old stuff.
Yeah.
And he said, that's the job.
Yeah.
I thought it was a great answer.
Yeah.
So I know they're the audience. I know that I'm here because they're here.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be able to do this at all. So you kind of got. It'd be nice that everybody wanted to listen to their stuff, but they want to listen to the old stuff, and I get it. And I loved that comment. Was that's the job?
What was their first album? One with like creeping up the backstairs and that. The Girl on the Front. It's a great album.
I wanted like duck out and say it was called the Fratellis. Henrietta was their first single. I don't think
that's a great album.
I don't think it was the name of the first album though. Costello Music, wasn't it?
Costello Music, yeah.
Oh, I got there just before I had to finish looking it up. Yeah, they're a good band and great live, and they did all the hits. It made it easier. Cool. That's good. Right, we've added an extra half an hour on the end of the podcast for that. Special 100th album episode. Special length. We'll see how much of this I edit out afterwards. Thank you, Billy.
Thank you, Martin.
It's been a pleasure. We'll carry on with this because we seem to be enjoying it.
Yeah.
So we'll keep going.
Another 100 more at least.
If you like this, tell your friends.
Yeah.
See if we can get 100 listeners. And we've really enjoyed doing this. If you are interested in music and you like chatting about it, you know where to come. If you want to make music, you know where to come. We are here. We love making music. We want to help you make your music as well. So whether it's learning how to play in the first place, it's talking about performance, whether it's practice, rehearsal, or recording, your place to go is apollo-audio.co.uk for all the details. I am Martin Lumsden. You can find me at Martin Lumsden on Instagram. What are you on, Billy?
At bodyband.uk.
At bodyband.uk.
And at Apollo Audio Hertford.
And at Apollo Audio Hertford. Apollo Audio Podcast on Instagram. You can email apolloaudiopod@gmail.com and just, enjoy. Have a nice life.
Yeah.
Enjoy music. Go see some bands.
Yes.
Go and book some tickets and book them in advance. If you're going to go, buy the ticket in advance. I saw that Luke Hinton was saying this week about how that's tough. Yeah. Go do it. Enjoy music. We're music fans. You're music fans. See you next time.
Bye.
You sure you forgive me?